All right, so I finally got a haircut. I'm back to looking like a human being again. And so this week I want to talk about the Ruby economy. What is the Ruby economy? Why did we make it? Start off with, why even create this new economy within the app? Most social networks, pretty much all of them at this point, follow a follow subscribe model. You follow certain people, you subscribe to certain people. That's the content that you always see. Occasionally, you can go to the Explore tab on Instagram, or you can see something that's retweeted by someone that's outside your network. But for the most part, it's an echo chamber because you keep seeing the same things from the same people over and over again. So how do we, solve that issue while still keeping a great experience for people? Because people like hearing similar viewpoints to their own. The second issue is there's no way to show multiple levels of appreciation. You have a like, but you could have, two different photos, one that you're just liking as you're scrolling through and one that you absolutely love. And you're showing the same degree of appreciation for them. In both cases, just one like. How do we solve that issue? How do we have multiple levels of appreciation? I kind of like this, but I really like that, and I want to show that person. And so what ultimately we want to do is not just allow people to like things as many times as, they want, because then you just are rewarding the person who keeps pressing, a million times. How do we create a system that allows for that, but is also meritocratic, that also has a level of scarcity? So scarcity is another important thing when it comes to apps and showing feedback in apps. If there's no scarcity, I'll like anything. People will go around just liking every photo. Even if I like it a little, I'll give it a like, why not? But what if that like costs something? Then you'd have to think about it. Then you would only give likes, so to speak, when they matter. And so this all brings us to the Ruby economy. The Ruby economy is a way to solve all of those issues. Is a way to solve echo chambers, is a way to solve multiple layers of appreciation, and is a way to create kind of a meritocratic system within the app. And so the way that a user gets rubies is by adding value to the app, either creating a topic or replying to someone else's topic, or the most valuable, having someone else reply to their topic. Why is that the most important? Well, ultimately, what we're trying to stimulate is public discussion, public conversation. If you're creating a topic that a lot of people want to give their opinion on, you have sparked, a big conversation that should be rewarded and is rewarded. And so through these different activities, you can get rubies. That's, you're essentially getting the money, the value of the app itself. And so with those rubies, you can then give those rubies away. Just like somebody who earns a lot of money will give away to charity or will buy gifts for their friends or whatnot. Same type of concept. But it only matters with scarcity, and it only matters with, if we're able to allow multi-layers of appreciation, which we are in this case. You can give someone one ruby for a clip that you kind of like, and you can give another person 100 rubies because you really like their clip. And so it solves that. And then finally, it allows us to rank content based on not just what arbitrarily gets the most likes, because likes, if they're not scarce, people will just like everything. So it's just the person who has the most followers. But it allows us to base it based on what were people willing to give up to show appreciation to this person. Every ruby that's given is taken away from someone, and therefore there's a layer of scarcity to it. It's almost a more authentic form of appreciation. And so that's kind of an overview of the Ruby economy, why we do it, why I think it's a good idea to implement. And over the next few weeks, as ideas evolve more and more, I'll talk more about it. But ultimately, a way to create a meritocratic system, show multiple levels of appreciation, remove the sense of an echo chamber, and introduce scarcity, which ultimately makes each show of appreciation more authentic. All right, so what did I get done this week? Well, the first thing was the Explore page. I got the layout down, and it's a very straightforward, simple layout. So we have a list of the most popular topics. We'll have the creator information, so we'll have their profile photo and their name, and then we'll have the name of the topic underneath. And then for a little visual, spice, we'll have the thumbnails of all the replies listed underneath. So it's straightforward enough and simple enough to understand, but that, those thumbnails add it, make it a little exciting to look at. After all, we're trying to get away from, just a bunch of text. And so got the Explorer layout done, also got the activity layout done. Remember, the activity is basically a tracker, your bank account of all the rubies you get and all the rubies you give away. And so got that done as well. And as for the wildcard, I started setting up the edit profile layout and some of the base functionality. So for now, it will be fairly simple. You'll be able to obviously change your profile photo, change your first name, last name, username. Eventually, it may be other things, but for now, it just has those things. So got the layout for that set up as well. All right, so what am I gonna get done this week? First thing is the login and sign up flow. So with this refactor, putting in composable architecture, I'm thinking through the best way to set up the functionality. Obviously with the login and sign up, there's a lot of validation that has to go on. We have to make sure, the email address is in the proper format, username is, not only the right length, but doesn't conflict with anything in the database, password is enough characters, so on and on. And so thinking through the best way to do that on the front end, as well as, interacting with the back end. And then the second thing I want to work on is visual design. I don't want to get too deep into animations and stuff, that'll come a bit later, but just thinking through the transitions between pages, thinking through just hierarchy, for example, highlighting certain text versus others, having a uniform display of buttons so people understand what is clickable or what is tappable and what is not. Thinking through all of those things, so as we start to finish functionality, I could start to implement visual design as well. Final, as always, will be a wild card, so I'll update you on what I get done for that. As always, like, subscribe, give me your feedback. If you guys are working on something, let me know. I want to hear about it. Talk to you guys soon.